All right, let's dive right in. We're talking about something huge that's happening in cybersecurity right now, which you could call the automation revolution. And it's all being powered by AI. This isn't just about new gadgets or software, it's changing what it even means to be a security professional. For so long, cybersecurity has felt like this manual game of cat and mouse. An analyst spots something weird, they dig into it, they respond, and all the while, the clock is just ticking away. Well, AI is completely flipping that script. We're jumping from the world on the left, manual, painstaking, and slow, to the world on the right, automated, intelligent, and frankly, unbelievably fast. This isn't just a small step up, it's a whole new ballgame. So, what's our game plan for today? First, we're going to break down what this new kind of automation really is. Then, we'll look at how it's becoming accessible to pretty much everyone. After that, we'll get into the really futuristic stuff, AI agents. Of course, with all that power, we have to talk about safety, so we'll cover the guardrails. And finally, we'll ask the big question, what does this all mean for the human cyber analyst? Okay, first stop on our journey, a new kind of automation. We're talking about a move away from those old rigid scripts into something way more intelligent. And the key idea here, the thing that makes it all work, is something called probabilistic automation. Think about it. Old school scripts are super rigid. They follow a strict recipe. If this exact thing happens, then do that exact thing. But AI, it's like a master chef. It can take messy, unstructured stuff like a weird-looking email someone reported or a raw feed of threat data and make a smart judgment call based on probabilities. It doesn't need everything to be perfect to make a good decision. And honestly, that's the real game changer. So how does this AI brain actually connect to all the security tools we already have? Well, it uses a few key building blocks. You've got SOAR platforms, which are kind of like the conductors of the security orchestra. But the real glue holding it all together is API interoperability. Just think of APIs as a universal language that lets all your different software talk to each other. Using these APIs, the AI can command your firewall, ask questions of your logging systems, and tell your endpoint protection what to do. It's like giving the AI a voice and hands to control your entire security setup. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. This incredible power isn't just for coding wizards anymore. Which brings us to our second point, automation for everyone, thanks to the explosion of low-code and no-code tools. And this is a perfect example of just how easy this is becoming. You really don't have to be a hardcore developer. Just look at this phishing workflow. It's a simple drag-and-drop process. An email comes in. That's the trigger. The system automatically pulls out the important info. It shoots that over to an AI to ask, hey, does this look sketchy? And if the AI gives a thumbs down, boom, the sender's IP address gets blocked. Just like that.
You're seeing these kinds of workflows pop up on all sorts of platforms like Zapier or Microsoft Power Automate. But putting this kind of power in everyone's hands, well, it has a dark side. The risks are very real. You've got shadow IT, where people build their own automations that security knows nothing about. You have people mishandling powerful API keys, and you could even have someone accidentally build a workflow that leaks sensitive company data. With great power comes great responsibility, right?
Okay, let's keep climbing that automation ladder. Buckle up because we're heading into the era of AI agents. This is where automation doesn't just follow instructions, it actually starts to think for itself. And this is where it starts to feel like sci-fi. An AI agent is so much more than a simple script. I mean, look at this diagram. It has a whole anatomy. It has a brain, which is a large language model that handles the reasoning. It has memory, often a vector database, so it can learn from its experiences. It has planning abilities, so it can take a big, fuzzy goal and break it down into smaller steps. And most importantly, it has tools, access to real-world programs and scripts it can use to get things done. Let's just zero in on what's going on inside that agent's mind. You have the LLM brain doing the thinking. You've got the memory providing context, but what really makes it an agent is that it can plan a complex goal, like, say, find every major vulnerability on our network, and then actually use its tools, like a port scanner or a custom script, to execute that plan. It's the critical difference between just having an idea and actually doing something about it.
So what kind of stuff can these agents do? Well, think about automated red teaming, where an AI agent acts like a relentless hacker, constantly poking and prodding your defenses for weaknesses, 24/7. Or even crazier, imagine an autonomous incident response. An agent could spot an attack in progress, immediately quarantine the infected machine, and start analyzing the malware, all before a human analyst has even had their first sip of morning coffee. Now, that level of autonomy is absolutely incredible, but let's be real, it's also kind of scary. It brings some massive risks. And that leads us to our next super important section, putting up the guardrails. How do we wield this incredible power responsibly?
So, what happens when someone tricks these systems? One of the biggest fears is something called prompt injection. It's like whispering in the AI's ear to make it do something bad. And this quote, it captures the absolute nightmare scenario. An attacker fools your automated log analysis tool into deleting the very logs that contain evidence of their attack. The tool you built to protect yourself becomes a weapon used against you. So to stop that from happening, we've got two main ways to keep humans in control. First up is human in the loop. The AI can suggest an action, but a human has to physically click approve before anything happens. Then you have the next level up, human on the loop. Here, the AI acts on its own, but a human is watching over its shoulder and can hit the big red stop button if things go sideways. Deciding which one to use is a huge part of managing the risk. And underpinning all of this is a security idea that's as old as the hills, but it's never been more important: the principle of least privilege. It's simple. Just make sure your AI agent has the absolute bare minimum permissions it needs to do its job, and nothing more. That way, if it ever gets hijacked or just goes haywire, the damage is contained. You really don't want the bot that analyzes phishing emails to also have permission to wipe your entire production database. So this incredible rapid climb up the automation ladder brings us to our final and maybe most important question. After seeing all this, what does it actually mean for the future of the cyber analyst, for the people doing this work every day? Well, the job is definitely changing. It's shifting away from being a hands-on keyboard operator to being more like a conductor, orchestrating all of these powerful AI systems. The most important skills are becoming less about pure technical button pushing and more about the strategic design and management of these automated defenses. And all of that leaves us with one pretty wild question to think about. Is the next top security analyst even going to be human, or will it be an AI? Thanks for joining me.